Welcome back here for the Common Game today. In deck number 899, we're going to talk about Jinnie Fey, Jetmir's second. Now, the weird casting cost aside, you can actually cast this for 3 green, but it does allow us to play the 3 colors. If you would create 1 or more tokens, you may instead create that many 2/2 green cat tokens with haste, or that many 3/1 dog creatures tokens with vigilance. Now, I'll tell you right up front, I focused on the cats because I love the haste. So, that line is amazing. 1 or more tokens. So, if you make a soldier or a sapperling or a food, a clue, a blood, any of those tokens, you can opt for it to be a 2/2 cat. Hasty. So, which is an amazing thing. Now, straight up front, if you have the doubling token things, Anointed Procession, Doubling Season, Parallel, all that stuff, run it. I don't have any of it, and it's still nasty. I do like the Fey Offering. You know, if you cast both a creature and a non-creature spell, you get a clue, a food, and a treasure. So, but that really gets nuts with Academy Manufacturer. You know, 1 becomes 3, becomes 9. It's which becomes cats. It's crazy. Now, I have played against this deck. I played against it last night, actually. A good friend of mine played it. And there was some other powerhouse decks at the table. But this thing comes out quick. Just, you look over, and there's like the commander and 1 cat. And then you look over again, and there was 12 cats. And you're like, wait a minute. That just happened. So anyway, let's look at our ramp before we get into this too deep, right? We're going to start off with our good buddy Sol Ring, Gruul's Signet, Rampant Growth, Ranger's Path, the Locket, Boros Signet, Selesnya Signet. We don't use the Selesnya Signet a lot, do we? The Commander Sphere, Gruul Locket. Now, I wanted to try to use creatures whenever possible. There's the Cultivate, but, you know, Ornithopter of Paradise. But check this one out. It's a beautiful, beautiful card. From Tempest, goes in all of these, you know, red, green, white decks, I think. Taps for a green, or technically it could tap for a white or a green, filter it through and get a white or a red. You know, and you can filter, you know, it's 1-1 and no tap to get white or red. So that allows you to be a little more aggressive with forest in your mana base. Have, you know, Sky Shroud Elf, pretty decent. Farhaven Elf, going to go get that basic land. Paradise Druid, the hexproof while on tap matters. You know it's not going to die before you use it. Then, of course, Llanowar and Elvish Mystic. I wanted to run... we're playing a crazy amount of creatures, right? So, I wanted to run stuff like Soul Warden and Soul's Attendant, you know, get that little life back. But look at the new Celebrity Fencer here. Another creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a 1/1 counter on this. Wow. This thing gets huge big. And it's a white elf. That was... I thought that was pretty insane. Our tokens just are not going to take damage with Imara Tantris out there. Rocco, just the creature tutor. Whichever creature we need at the time, Rocco gets it. And have you noticed all of the elves? Yeah, so I did put the Elvish Archdruid in there. it was. This is what I like to call an accidental elf deck. It's not really an elf deck, but I looked down and I had, wow, there's a lot of elves. But card draw, of course, Faithless Looting, Shamanic Revelations, whew, and then the big score. I like the big score in this deck. You know, you discard a card, you draw 2 cards, get 2 cats. That seems really, really good. Before we get any further, probably the most potent card in the deck, the Impact Tremors. This thing, ridiculous. Absolutely. Jim did play it last night, and I nuked it. I Wind Grace's Judgment this thing away because it was hurting. It did, several damage before. It definitely earned its 2 mana. We can't talk about tokens without Bootlegger Stash. Luckily, he didn't draw this, did not see it in play. Yes, totally needs a Seedborn Muse. I want every deck I put a Bootlegger Stash in, I want a Seedborn Muse in there. Now, I don't have it because, we're still opening up Bootlegger Stashes. We're not opening up Seedborns as often. But, man, what an amazing card. Yeah, each land you control has tap, create a 2/2 haste creature. Okay. Gallagher, this one, it's surprising the amount of decks that this thing fits in. Because the first time you get a creature, second time and third time, so you can use this 3 times a turn and get benefit out of it. Now time for the kitty cat stuff. Trigal Caracal, to make sure cats 3/3 lifelink in Hastings, and it brings 2 with you. We have the Feline Sovereign, give them protection from dogs. And then combat damage naturalized stuff. That's pretty good. Curse of the Clinging Webs. If you see somebody else has a lot of creatures, you can get those spiders. Now, sometimes you need the reach. Black Market Tycoon. I love the fact that this is a cat that is going to tap to make a cat. That just, I love it. Wolverine Riders is a heck of a card. That's during each upkeep. Everybody's upkeep, you're going to get that cat. Speaking of cats, White Sun Zenith. Verdant Embrace is another one of those every single turns. I mean, Stormherd, because why not? Rabble Rousing. I like that Hideaway has a number after it now. It's not just defaulted to 4. Making some citizens. But this is what I thought was a stroke of genius. Thopter Assembly. Okay, at the beginning of your upkeep, if you control no Thopters other than this, return this to your hand and create 5 Thopter flyers. Well, we're going to have those Thopters become cats. So this is always going to be the only Thopter we have. We can continually make 5 cats with this every turn. May not seem like a lot, but it's 10 power, repeatable for 6 mana every turn. Maybe more depending on what, champions and tremors and stuff. I thought it was clever. We have the Pollen Bright Wings. Sometimes you need flyers, and sometimes you want to make a stupid amount of cats while doing it. Deploy to the front. Yeah, I keep... Every time I read this, I have to read it again. That's creatures on the battlefield. That's not your creatures. That's total creatures on the battlefield. I mean, it does cost 7 mana, but whoa. Young Peasy. Instant or sorcery. We have a Tireless Provision. Tireless Tracker would be good too. Jim pointed out I need a Tireless Tracker in here, but don't have one. Food Token or Treasure. Search the Premises. Creature attacks you. Investigate. Professional Facebreaker. Now, this is a good one. Deal combat damage, you get a treasure, which becomes a cat. or becomes a treasure clue and food, which all become, yeah, you see where it's going. And then the Imperious Perfect to have cat babies. Now, to pump up this team, we have Song of the World Soul, which, I mean, maybe, maybe not. It is 6 mana. This may be a slot for my doubling enchantment or whatever when I do eventually get it. But cast a spell, populate's not bad. Mirror Entity, since we are probably going to have a lot of those 2/2 cats, we can just make them huge. Mirror Entity's a win condition. Y'all know that. Much like the Overrun and the Dragon Throne of Tarkir. Now, I love that the Dragon Throne also grants Trample. That is beautiful. Now let's look through removal, shall we? Of course, we have our Abrade, Return to Nature, but I want to talk about like some charms for a minute, right? Let's look at Rith's charm. We've got all 3 of the charms that fit these 3 colors over the years. You can destroy non-basic land, get 3 cats, or prevent all damage. Those are all good options. The Naya charm. 3 damage to a target, regrowth, or tap somebody's team. Cabaretti charm. Damage equal the number of creatures you control. That says destroy target creature most of the time. Or +1 to trample, or 2 cats. This is a great charm. Kind of a reverse charm here, Fiery Justice. 5 damage as you choose among any number of targets, and just blah, and somebody gains 5. Now, I like the Artifact Mutation, blowing something up, getting some Sapperling cats. Pest Infestation, similar. Incandescent Aria, 3 damage to everything's not a token. Bye-bye. And then, of course, the Hour of Reckoning, because it is Dom in a token deck. Now, let's pull back out so we can get to our non-basic lands. We're playing 3 colors, so there's quite a bit of non-basics. I wanted Vitu-Ghazi in there. Yeah, 4 mana's a bunch, but there again, if you don't have anything else to do with your mana, that's the thing. The Command Tower, Path of Ancestry, Jetmir's Garden, Blossoming Sands, Laureled Campus, Tranquil Expanse, Slagwood Bridge, Terramorphic Expanse, Evolving Wilds, Timber Gorge, Botanical Plaza, Windscarred Crag, Jungle Shrine, Naya Panorama, Temple of Triumph, Exotic Orchard. I love those lair lands. Rith's Grove, Rugged Highlands, Highland Forest, Greypelt Refuge, Needle Spire, Cabaretti Courtyard, and Celestia Guildgate. And that is it for Jinnie Fay. Now, I like this deck. I think I may have actually played it once because some of those cards seemed very familiar. No played against it last night, and it was definitely the threat at the table that we had to keep on answering. And I think he may have even won that game. I'm not sure. So, let's go put this on the wall. We can, here, maybe that is $8.99. We're there. Deck number 900. It's finished. And I probably won't wear pajamas when I do 900 because I don't know. Anyway, I like it. It's fun. It's different. Is it as powerful as some of the other Centennial decks? No. But it does. It is a landmark deck where, yeah, I'll explain. Anyway, I appreciate it. Y'all let me know what you think, and I'll see you for 900. But right now, we're going to shuffle and cut.